Hi, everybody. Hello. Oh, I see Peggy. Hi, Peggy. And I saw
Happy
Sunflower.
Sunday.
Happy
August.
Happy
1st.
Happy Trump reinstatement month. That ain't gonna happen. So
Happy birthday to all the Leos.
Yep. Do you guys have any special announcement, Jenny, about your website or anything?
Website is still where you go to book readings, JennLynnTarot.com, 2 N's in Jenn, 2 N's in Lynn. And I'm doing a live tomorrow night with Lori from The Way of Positive Change at 5 Eastern Time, 4 Central, 3 Mountain, 2 Pacific.
I'm typing in your because I don't have the StreamYard, so I can't. You know the StreamYard
that's my email address. My website's www.JennLynnTarot.com. Don't email me for readings. Go to the website.
Oh, sorry, that was my bus. Jenn, Lynn, Lynn, Tarot.com. Okay, there we go. Got it right now. If I can, let me erase my own. Oh, I can't. I can only put myself in timeout and block myself. Dang it.
Thank you, Mara. Thank you also to those who have been giving me testimonials on my website. When you do testimonials or reviews or comments, it goes into a holding status until I approve them. Thank God comments do go in holding status, because I had a bunch of trolls try to troll me on my channel. It's like, nah. It doesn't publish automatically. I have to approve it. So I get to mark you as spam. It didn't work. Try somebody else's website.
Yeah. Trolls are not very smart. So, and I wanted to thank all the moderators, the wrench people who've been playing whack-a-mole with a bunch of the trolls that have been out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. More paper, please. If y'all didn't see Becca returning to Jim Jordan's Grand Tableau last night, go check it out. It was awesome.
Part 2.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
I was watching quietly from the sidelines.
How you doing, Johnny? Any special announcements or anything you want to tell folk?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
I'll be live with Adrian and Tony on Tuesday, and then Adrian and Jody on Saturday.
Mark your calendars, ladies and gents. Be on Johnny watch.
It's on Adrian's channel, so go over there and figure out the times and all that good stuff.
Oh, Allie's here. Hi, Allie. Thank you so much. I got the email. Thank you. Huge thanks.
Everybody's talking about the Grand Tableau last night. It was awesome.
And I didn't understand it either until you explained it last night about the chains, how to follow the chain. I didn't know what that meant either until you explained it last night.
Oh, you were there too? See, you're always lurking, and I never know when you're in there. You're lurking in the shadows, Johnny.
Sometimes, like, I just want to watch, and if I start commenting, I don't want to distract in the chat and stuff, so I just want to sit there and watch, and I was troll watching too. Your other moderators were doing such an awesome job. I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, well, thank you guys. So I have a question in regards to the tableau that I did last night. And I texted you today because I just caught it this morning. Impeachment is right here on that very top line, 2 columns above his head. But it shows that when I box it into Jordan, he was a loyalist. I tried to follow, and I just thought of this today. I tried to follow Jim Jordan's tableau this morning as well, following the chain of houses for letter, because I was thinking, well, if impeachment's showing up here, I'm wondering if, because letter is anything that's written and it's mail, if he's being referred to DOJ, kind of like when the Senate Intelligence Committee referred Kushner and Junior to DOJ for prosecution because they lied under oath to committee. Can you guys look into that? Because that was one of my questions, and I just thought of it today because I was like, oh shoot, I missed that.
So will the January 6th commission refer Jim Jordan
or any other people, because it shows up in Mo Brooks's too. There's impeachment in Mo Brooks.
Or anyone else for prosecution to DOJ.
Should we do Jim Jordan first?
I'm doing Jordan first. Then we can look at Mo.
Or any others, because I mean they're gonna cast a net and they're gonna catch all kinds of fish.
Johnny, I'm loving my mat. It makes it so much easier to spread the cards.
It does.
Thank you once again. Not to mention it's pretty and I like to look at it.
It is beautiful, Jenny. Johnny's gone crazy with those mats. I like the one.
It's hard to send her another one. Then I'm like, wait, it's only me that needs 45 of the same thing. So. Because there's another one with dragonflies on it. I'm like, send that one too. No, don't. Calm yourself.
Calm yourself.
I got justice reversed. We'll put that the right way then, shall we? Death and harassment. So there's a major change to an institution. And the 6 of Cups and the Knight of Cups, there is a false innocence or a falsifying of innocence, or basically a lie or a plea or a not guilty plea or something like that, which means that there is a guilty charge coming against someone. I'm asking about Jordan, though. There's the Tower and the 7 of Cups with the justice in the environment. So there is something that he is trying to hide or trying to cover up with that Knight of Cups and 6 of Cups that that is going to get revealed or blown open is the word I'm actually getting. The Ace of Wands with the Emperor, 6 of Swords. There is something about the movement of violent men. And so there is an attachment to the January 6th and all his tourists.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I do get there is some charge. Justice in the environment. Something's coming.
Mm-hmm. I get obstruction if I'm looking at it in my GT.
I get thank you, Larry Buddha Boy. I get celebration. Yes. They're working together here, or he collaborated together. So there's a group of people that are going to be put in defense mode. The bullies inciting the insurrection and money that probably helped pay for it when this is all said and done and complete. There's a cooperating witness is what I'm getting that saw things that we have not heard about yet that they have tried to block. And I get, he gets something gets sent over to DOJ for his partnership with Trump. So probably his contact with Trump and everything, and a big yes, he gets put in defense mode.
Do you guys see the interview where he's freaking backpedaling like crazy?
Hubba, 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 hubba.
Yeah,
hubba.
like he didn't know what to say. Okay, so what about so did you guys get for everybody or just him?
We were just doing Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that there's a group of them though with that 3 of Pentacles in the middle. There's a group of them, but let's see if Mo's one of them.
Mo Brooks.
I got so many GTs I got to do on all these fools. It's ridiculous.
Nine of Swords fall out. I bet that's going to be a common occurrence.
Going to be the card of the night.
Yes.
Card of the night. I wonder how many times that card and like the devil's going to come out tonight. Satan himself.
Devil.
There he is.
First card, too.
There he is. That bastard.
You talk about his friends, he shall show up, I guess.
I got him too.
You
But
got him too?
I think Devil might be going to jail.
You guys pull out your bingo cards for the devil tonight.
I got the exact same 2 cards, too.
All right,
The-
it's a
the-
drinking game tonight.
What is that? Is that the 8 of Swords or 9,
8 of
Johnny?
Swords, too. Yeah.
8 of Swords and Satan?
Justice, too. Okay, so we start with the Devil and the Hangman. There is something that is caught up. There is, because here this is also like a capture card too. So something is being caught. Something is either being caught on tape or caught in reality or caught in real time. Something's caught. Something is also brought out by something else. So there is, it's not like the sun to where there's just plain illumination. This is like they subpoenaed somebody else's records and then he is mentioned and some sort of tie of evidence comes back to him, because then there is defending with the 7 of Wands. Then you have justice there as well, and then there's a major change, which is a huge loss, because I have the death card and the 10 of Swords. Now if we were talking about anything else, this would be like, you know, murder or death or like actual death, but there's a huge change that causes an imbalance. So he's still here. So he's got a huge imbalance going on around his job and an abuse of power. So yeah, charges for you too.
Ooh-wee.
Thank you, Patricia Lara. Yeah, I get in questioning that everybody's watching, that he's like partnering with Trump and the little minions, the little people, the peanut butter boys and oath creepers. He's put in defense mode here. He is caught in something that is said. And I think it's a witness from one of the insurrectionists themselves, purely for entertainment purposes, only YouTube. I think it's one of the devil guys themselves that participated. Like they bring them in to talk. Like, when did you talk to Mo Brooks? When did you talk to Trump? He's involved in the details and definitely partnered in. And yep, justice and sword of truth. You get a subpoena. There's a big breakthrough on the treachery because somebody talks. And yeah, that starts something all new in the courts.
Jeez Louise. And I wonder, because in that interview that's been being reported now, he's saying that he got a tip that it was going to be violent, and that's what prompted him to wear that bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
I mean, these, I mean, they're not even smart.
But if you get the tip it's going to be violent, why do you go at all?
Yeah. He said in that interview that's being reported, Johnny, he said he got a tip that it was going to be violent, so he didn't even go to his condo. He stayed and slept in his office and wore a bulletproof vest and went there the next day anyways. Like,
but still spoke up, like riling them up. Like,
yeah,
okay, you're not trying, you heard they're going to be violent. Why not try to bring them down?
Mm-hmm. He was saying, go kick ass and take names. It's insane. Okay, I got one more question for you guys, because I'm very curious to see what you guys would get. I'm going to sit this one out if that's okay. But who funded the travel for the riots?
Three people.
I'm hearing several.
I heard multiple, so I was just thinking maybe there's going to be a 3 at least pop up.
Yeah, here they are carrying their little Civil War flag.
Oh my God. Seriously. Seriously.
Ooh, we're going to find out.
So we know for sure one of the justice wife anyway, because I get the justice card, 10 of cups. So a family of someone in the justice system. There's also the pillow guy, somebody who promotes rest or something about rest or beds or something of that nature. Also somebody who sells jewelry or specifically maybe even timepieces. There is also someone in pharmaceuticals, and more importantly, head type pharmaceuticals, so like antidepressant drugs or something of that nature. There's also someone in building or building supply or something of that nature, something about construction. These are sponsors as well. So these are kind of like people who will pay for buses and stuff of that nature, porta potties or whatever. But there's multiples. There's like 10.
Wow.
7 to 10.
I'm getting at least 4 too. It's like, trying to change, and in questioning, I get it's going to come out. And they're going to be defending themselves for their gifts of money to pay for this. So there was manipulation here. There may even be some foreign money. And I have my Mother Russia card on the bottom. I've got Empress on the bottom. But I get a businesswoman, a businessman, the woman with the connection to the legal system. So that's probably Clarence Thomas's wife, and creative women. So I'm getting more women than men. The businessman's probably Barrick.
So
somebody was shipping people around, and it's coming out, shipping these bullies around, these insurrectionists around. Somebody's going to talk about it. Somebody's going to talk about where they got funding for their buses or whatever.
Or even if they don't, I'm sure that the FBI can look into it. Between the FBI, the committee, and the DO, everybody's going to find it. You can't cover that up. So can we look into hypothetical? Well, will they be found? The people that funded, will they be found? And then what happens to them? Are they brought up on charges, or do they just get a slap on the hand? Don't fund insurrections. That's bad. Like.
I don't know that they can get them on anything, because they weren't the ones riling them. They're just providing.
You can always buy somebody a bus to go somewhere. That doesn't necessarily mean you were.
Like the rallies.
If they can prove that they knowingly paid for people to travel, like if they can
weapons to travel,
I'm thinking they can.
Cheney wants, that's her thing, is like, who funded this? So there is money behind the organization of it all.
Yeah.
Becca has set up her camera so that you can see her tiles easier. That's why you can't see anything but her hands when they come into focus.
Yeah.
She's trying to make it easier for you guys to see the cards and tiles. She does that sometimes when she's doing her grand tableau, like last night. I'm assuming you're in the same setup you were in last night.
Yes, I am.
My cards just got all messy. Like, ooh, this is gonna be messy.
Like gross.
Just messy. Like they're flopping around all different ways. Like this
Stop
is gonna be a messy. This is gonna be a messy situation.
Poor cards are probably like, stop asking me about such dirty people.
This is charges. I don't see charges, but there's going to be a lot of finger pointing because this gets, just like Jen said, it does get very messy. I start with the 7 of Cups and the 4 of Pentacles. So someone's trying to hold on, and there's also some sort of like hidden or secret money or closed knit or a good secret kept around money. There is a lot of fighting within the government, which means that there is sources within the government as well, or people who knew where this money came from in the government. But here with the Emperor and the Judgment, you get the Hangman. So it kind of meets a roadblock and a standstill. And then you have the 5 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. 5s is conflict in the tarot. So there's a lot of messiness. There's just a lot of, I don't see any charges being brought. I see a lot of shouting and pointing and name calling and all that type of stuff, but no charges here.
Yeah, I get whistleblowing on them. Like we find out who in the investigation who supported shipping all these, people around and the big money that's behind it. But I get that they're secure, even though it's heartbreaking. There's a lot of delays, but it comes to an end. They turn their back on it. I don't get charges. I just get like they're stuck and trapped, connected to it. They've got anxiety because of that, but structurally they can't get the judgment to take it on. Like it gets blocked from the courts, even though they paid money out. But people are disgusted with them, so it'll probably affect their businesses and stuff. They become known, co-conspirators, so to speak. But
I get that. Yes, they'll be found out by a very career woman, very well recognized career woman with a lot of fame that's in the House, so perhaps Cheney. What happens to them through the investigation, they're going to be very critical about people and witnesses, but I get that some may have to talk and interview.
Yeah.
So perhaps we'll get to find out who it is or some of them who they are, because it ends here with Sun. So they'll speak.
I mean, we know Clarence Thomas's wife, paid for some buses. We should ask if they're going to subpoena her.
Okay.
Are they going to bring her in? Because we all knew, like, she paid for buses.
And then she was on Twitter putting stuff out there too about the Patriots. Not the football team. I guess she forgot, they're not patriots, they're traitors that are trying to overthrow the government, but
yeah.
So that's So will Clarence Thomas's wife be subpoenaed to the committee? Well, there's a lady.
It's in the plans I'm getting. It's already in the plans because they're already planning who they're going to subpoena. They've got so many subpoenas.
It's going to be raining subpoenas, y'all.
There are going to be so many. It's going to be like a steady flow of people in. I get a yes. They bring her in to talk about the money that she paid, and try to figure out if she also did things to try to manipulate the government in the election. I don't see anything happening much to her, like other than they're wondering, why did you work with these people when your husband's up on the Supreme Court?
Man, what a disaster that's going to be. Oh, dear Lord.
What you getting, Johnny?
I get yes, but I don't see any consequences. It's almost like she goes in, she talks, she walks away, and then that's the end of it. I get the Lovers in the World card, so it's kind of like it begins and ends within a week.
I get a yes as well. I get that she may be depressed about the whole situation, but I get a yes. I didn't ask what happens to her, but I get yes.
Yeah, I do get emotional trauma, but that I didn't figure that had something to do with anything, so I didn't say that. But
yeah, man. So we should make bingo cards for subpoenas.
Yeah, there's not a bingo board big enough. It'd have to be a poster because there's so many involved.
I know. It's going to be like the size of like a 12-foot long, a dining room table or something. It'll be the bingo of all bingos. Okay, so we're gonna switch gears now, and we're gonna go into the turtle because he's been awfully quiet. Jenny and I were talking about this yesterday that, if anything, he is nothing more than a political animal. I don't think that he would blink twice about stabbing somebody, even somebody in his own party in the back, so long as it means saving his own skin and clinging to power. And it appears that Kevin McCarthy has been really badly pooping the bed with everything. So how does Mitch McConnell think Kevin McCarthy is handling this whole special committee in the House situation?
how's Kevin McCarthy handling it?
Yeah, because he goes way back with Liz's dad. How does Mitch McConnell think Kevin McCarthy is handling it?
Oh.
I don't know who this woman is, but she keeps wanting to show up tonight. So just saying.
So interesting. We keep pulling cards, but they keep getting the same cards. So let's just leave them here and shuffle them around. There's the 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Wands and the Sun. He believes that the messaging could be a little more forceful, or a little not forceful. It could be a little more strategic. Like, I think he is, because McConnell here with the Hermit card, there is a better way to approach the situation, is how he feels that maybe he could be a little more, what's the word? It's strategic, but it's like he could be a little more manipulative with the magician here too. That this screaming, if you don't accept my picks, then I'll start my own. And he's basically reacting to Pelosi instead of staying ahead of him or ahead of her. So I think he believes that there's a better strategy to it, but that's the conniving nature of Mitch McConnell, though.
I get that he thinks the truth is going to come out in this committee, and he thinks Kevin's being very smug, and that he's got agreements behind the scenes, to try to see this through and just keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. He's kind of turned his back on Kevin, is what I'm getting, because he thinks Kevin's going to be having to defend himself. So he's kind of like hoping he gets separated out of the Republican Party along with the other thieves and traitors and insurrectionists and everything. He wants an end to come to them. I think he wants the Quackanoners out. I think he's ready to move on as leader, and he sees more investigations coming for them. I don't think he's in support of these Quackanoners.
Which is interesting because that's leading into another question I have here on my notes. But here, I don't get Kevin McCarthy at all. Because the question was, how does McConnell think that McCarthy's handling the situation? Well, there's a woman here. So it doesn't even talk about McCarthy. There's a woman here who is going to be very successful in exposing all of the lies, and she is the one that comes out on top. But there's a betrayal. There's a betrayal that what comes to her favor. So, and she overcomes it very, very well, like very, very well. Whatever problem it is, she rises above it, and he's very satisfied with her. So I'm thinking this is Liz. So
yep.
The next question I had on my list is McConnell working with Cheney to eradicate the GOP of the Quackenoners? Because he's probably looking at McCarthy and saying, we're going to lose me the House again,
Because people that are endorsed by Trump are losing their primaries right now. So thank you, Marie. Marie said she's doing shots of water because our cards would tank her.
Thank you.
It's funny, too, because Lindsay's gotten very quiet lately, too, other than he's endorsing the infrastructure bill. He's flip-flopping. Oh, hell yes, he's working with her. He's trying to be very practical because he doesn't want to seem as supporting Biden, but he is cooperating with Liz. It's like, he's passed judgment on this and there were deaths involved. So he thinks the sword of truth is coming out, clinging to her. Big yes card. There is a partnership there. He wants all these little erratic minions and Trump to all just pack their bags and go away. Tower card. He wants an action taken against these bullies. So, yep, I think he's working with her.
What'd you get, Johnny?
I didn't get him at all in this one. I got two women, though. I get one that was hurt and betrayed here.
What woman is that, Johnny?
I will assume Liz. And then I get another one who's sort of in charge of a larger thing, which I would get Pelosi. For Liz and McConnell, I get fighting words with the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. But he didn't pop up. I just got the two women in this.
I get yes. I get that she's loyal and reliable, and he's happy to work with her for a win. So I don't know. So okay. Can we just ask, just to be petty, what does Mitch McConnell think of Kevin McCarthy?
He's probably jealous because his hands aren't dead.
Look, with my new internet, I haven't frozen up once yet.
That's wonderful.
Faster upload speed for streaming. Again, he's disgusted with him.
Oh God.
Again, he's just disgusted with them. It's like the more he talks, the more illumination there is on everything, and justice is coming for him. It's just, it makes him anxious for his party, I think. Yeah, just keep talking, Kevin. The tower's coming for you. You're an idiot. Everything's going to change, and he thinks he's just very emotional. He thinks he's on the take and manipulative too. That's funny considering Elaine Chao and Mitch.
Seriously.
Like they're not on the take. I'm going to step away for a second and warm up my tea. Be right back.
Okay.
And the Six of Wands in reverse just then.
Oh, that's weird. You never do reversals.
No, and this is the second time. I'm going to go through each one of these cards in a minute. But Six of Wands is a promotion, victory, triumph. It's person at the center of attention. So this is what's his face, but it's in reverse. So there's some sort of weakness he feels that he has, that his power here with the Magician and the Three of Swords is kind of less than, and it's not utilized correctly. Then there's your Republican Party.
He's losing his celebrity.
Yes, and then there's your Seven of Wands, and then the Eight of Cups. He kind of wishes he would go away because he's damaging the GOP. I almost said the ROP. I'm gonna have to figure out what that meant.
Was that a tombstone on that card? Maybe he wants him buried with his dead hand.
It just kind of looks like it, but
It looks like a tombstone with bullet holes in it.
that's GOP for you. But that's what I get, is that he feels as though his power is less than. He's not very good at manipulation. He's not good at his job, and he hurts the GOP. And so he wishes he would go away.
I get that he thinks that this person is going to become a very significant, important celebrity because he's linked to that betrayal, and that betrayal is going to get exposed here. He thinks that he's a pretty big liar, which is interesting coming from a person like Mitch McConnell, who has got like 15 forked tongues. But he thinks this guy, he's going to get exposed.
Well, the only one that's licking more boots is Lindsay. Why is Lindsay flip-flopping now? And like,
oh, has he been?
He hasn't said anything about Kevin, but now he's like he and Mitch came out in support of the infrastructure bill. Like it's a good thing for America. It's like, okay, why are they flip-flopping? Because Trump had said the infrastructure bill, that would be a win for Biden, but they're supporting it. Like, why are they going against? Why is like Mitch? I can understand. I don't think Mitch ever liked Trump from the get-go. Yeah. Nope. But Lindsay's been licking everybody's boots. It's like, why is he flip-flopping?
So what's the question? Why is Lindsey Graham flip-flopping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is he going back and forth in support for Trump and now, toeing the line with Mitch?
Somebody pulled the chain on his leash. That's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, he was used to go pick up golf balls for Trump. When they play golf together, he'd pick up his balls for him. Sorry.
He picked up his balls. His old fat balls. Yeah.
He'd wash them for him, I'm sure.
On purpose.
Oh, that was just a bad. Thank you, Anna. Artie's over here bumping on me. He's feeling better on his thyroid meds.
That's good.
He's starting to put a little bit of weight back on, I think. He lost a pound. He's feeling heavier now.
Hi, little Artie. It's me, your girlfriend that you dumped.
I'm going to talk to you.
A cutie pie.
Lindsay, you're just a wishy-washy piece of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go where the wind blows.
Exactly, Johnny.
I get the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. Right now, the Trumpian wing of the party is burdened. Now, mind you, we sit here with the magic cards and tell you that it's getting smaller and smaller on the Trumpian side, and the GOP are trying to push them out. They are behind the scenes having these conversations about how to transform the GOP back into the GOP from where it was. So there's some burden, there is some endings. They are trying to end this uphill battle. Now, him himself, he is wishy-washy. He is very, with the moon, he is very wishy-washy. He is very, I would say the card itself says that there is something deeper. There's a deeper level to this, but we know who he is. This is him. So I mean, that's what the card means, but we can see through that murk to what's underneath. He's worried about the future. He's worried about the exposure. He's worried about the success of the GOP. He's taking the opportunity to look like a bipartisan player. So he's trying to look Republican again. But he's just blowing with the wind. That's all.
Thank you, Mary. Yeah, I get like he's just trying to manipulate things because now he has regrets. Do you think because he's so indecisive, he knows exactly what he's doing? He had hopes, with the insurrection, I think. But now he's just trying to be practical and get away with it. And he's got anxiety because I think he thinks that there could be someone that cooperates with that committee that could, he's trying to ease out of this because he thinks that there could come investigators for him and for his partnerships and working with the bullies and stuff, and he could get a lot more attention than he wants.
I guess that he's not. What was that, Jenny?
Somebody's got a guilty tongue that he's been licking boots with.
Well said. I get that he's very non-committal. He's open, non-committal. But there's probably polling here with Crossroads that there's a loss. So they probably, because this is in the center, the choices, so I'm thinking polling. The polling is probably showing them, if you keep going down that road in regards to vaccines and everything else with the scythe here, you're looking at losses. That's why he's kind of, like Johnny says, taking measurements of which way the wind is blowing and which way the polling is going to change course and pivot,
Not just losses in the polls and votes, but also losses because you're killing off your base.
Yeah, you're killing people. So here's a question. We all know, for everybody that is anxious about the results of the commission, I've gotten that this thing goes way past the winter. I think Jenny and Johnny have gotten that this thing takes a long, long time as well. Am I correct in saying that, or am I putting words in everybody's mouths?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Jillian. I think if you look at like the Mueller report, that took what, a year and a half? A year and a half. And then Adam Schiff came out and said that this thing is going to go out way past the winter. If you consider the and everything else.
The Mueller report was cut short, so it was going on still even after that. Well, it could have been anyway.
Yep. So calm your nerves. Okay, like you don't want to rush this thing. So here's my thing. It's looking like it's just gonna be a slow leak of everything that they've tried to cover up. It's like every week there's a new report about, oh, here's some hand notes that they wrote. Oh, here's a conversation that was had. Oh, here's a da-da-da-da, So what does McConnell plan to do? And how is, like, what does he plan to do with the findings of the committee as they come out? Because this is going to be a PR disaster. I don't care how bad they try to spin it. It's just going to be bad.
Everybody's gonna hurt. Yeah, of course that's what you would think of.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Peggy. Sorry, that was my...
Thank you, Desiree.
Thank you, Desiree.
You know, I think he thinks, he's worried about like the money, looking at the money, the gifts of money and everything and actions that'll be taken on that. And if the investigators get into looking into Russian money that has helped people. Thank you, Esso. I think in a way, he thinks that this committee is going to distract from Russia being involved in our elections and everything.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, it's a little bit of a distraction with how much Russia has meddled with us, but it is painful for the Republican Party. He's gonna try to spin it some other way, to move people forward, look for lies, trying to say, oh, we're back to the way we used to be, we're for the families and everything, whatever he can get away with. But he's just gonna try to be strong, and he's got hopes that they can win people over in America and keep them in the party. He's just gonna.
That's a good point. It's a good point that he would, oh, look, there's another bunch of stuff coming out. At least it'll keep people's minds off the other bunch of stuff that came out.
Squirrel, look at that. Look at that. Look at the insurrection. Don't look over here at Russia. Don't look at the Mueller report. Don't look at all that.
Don't look at what everything we did and worked overtime to cover up.
That's what he used Trump for when everybody was looking at him. He placed judges all over the country and rigged this election and rigged that election. So, like, look at the shiny object, not at the little turtle on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There's an abuse of power, naturally, but it's more like calling in favors type thing. Whoever it is that you have seeded a relationship with. There's the devil and the 7 of Pentacles. There's also manipulation of donors, but not the donor itself, but more like I could get a donor to stop paying you type thing. So there's a part of this, though, and I guess we'll see this if it ever happens. There's a part of this, though, that says when it comes to carrying out convictions or anything like that in the Senate, that he does not have much power in that regard. So I don't know if he's not there or if he has just lost his influence or whatever the case may be, but there is some weakening of the government with the Hierophant and the 5 of Pentacles. So I don't know, somebody in his stead carries on some sort of torch here with the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands.
There's Susan Collins has been doing interviews on TV and talking about how she thinks this committee is too partisan and stuff, and
Jim Jordan should have been on there.
Oh yeah, that Nancy should have taken Jimmy Jordan.
Yeah,
why don't they start their own commission?
Even when questioned, like, well, what if he's called to testify? Well, yes. You know how she talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start your own commission then.
So all the people that are like, I question whether they really truly got elected. Collins, Lindsay, Mitch, you know,
Mitch,
Molly.
that guy's got less than a 30% approval rating in his own home state. How the hell does he keep winning elections? I mean, you can't lock up the entire state of Kentucky and only let certain people, you know what I mean? I get that. It grows very passionately and very heatedly, and they just crank up the gaslighting. You know, they just keep cranking up the gaslighting. Like if they get a tower moment and the shit hits the fan, they're just like, cover it up, you know? So here's the question. Does McConnell think that the Republican Party under McCarthy's leadership and that whole train of crazies, the clown show, does he think he's going to cost them the elections?
Does McConnell think the clown show,
McConnell and the Quackenoners are going to lose him the elections?
Yes. I tell you, that good old devil is going to be here all night.
Shots, everybody. Devil came out again.
So I got McConnell with the King of Cups, and he is worried about, because mind you, the Trumpian party is now being attached to the attack to the January 6th. Not just Donald Trump itself, but to the horrible actions that they carried out in his name. So then I got my yes with the Ace of Wands, the Fool, and the Five of Pentacles. He figures is that, you know, Donald Trump is what's causing the harm to the Republican Party. Now, here's my thing. You knew that 4 years ago. You had the opportunity 2 times to get rid of him, and you didn't. So you deserve all that you get.
Yeah, I get the structure of the party, you know, that it's going to crumble with these Quackenoners because they're bringing on so many investigations. Thank you, Marie. And they talk. They just, you know, people talk. There's too much talking going on. So yeah, he thinks that the polls or at the, you know, at the elections they'll be left out in the cold, and that they'll be made smaller, that they'll be stuck smaller, that they won't ever grow again. But he clings to his gaslighting about Trump, trying to protect what he can. But he knows it's a shift of power happening right now, and that he would, you know, lose his power. The support has gone to the other side. And then you're looking at all the changes from the legal system, you know, as people start getting charged. Convicted.
Yeah. So you're killing them, and they're ending it, and the rest are ending up in jail. So good luck. You know, I get that there's a lot of talk, chit chat, and gossip and negotiations going on right now, meetings in regards to the elections and how certain communities are going to vote this way. However, he's putting all his eggs in the basket in regards to the institutions. So we could be looking at, because this is a very important election, what he's hearing or what they're negotiating in certain states through government and access here to the polls. See what I'm saying? So it's almost like he knows McCarthy is costing him the election, but he's banking on the law here, that the laws that are being passed in regards to elections to save the day. So all of the voter suppression bills, perhaps, or the ways that the laws are being changed. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and also with this right here, this is also people that may have to come and talk. Several people that have to come and talk and negotiate at a meeting here in the committee. You see what I'm saying? So all of the elected officials in the House that were involved, they're probably going to get called. That's going to go out in public. It's going to be a mess. And all he's banking on is McCarthy's going to lose me the elections, but at least I got the states passing suppression bills that may help me, So that's what I'm getting. Speaking of the devil and Satan and Trump, Jenny was telling me that one of the Bushes tried to get Trump to endorse him. Who was it, Jenny?
His nephew, one of the grandsons of Bush Sr., Bush Jr.'s nephew, tried to get Trump to endorse him. I think his name was Pat Bush. Y'all tell me in chat. I can't remember his first name. Trump wouldn't endorse him, but the guy that Trump was endorsing lost the primary. So,
so can we ask, why did Trump not endorse Bush?
Yeah. Like, why would he not want to bring that patriarchal Republican family into his entourage? George P. Bush? Is that it?
George P.
Bush. Why do they all name him George?
King of Wands fell out. Empress.
Trump on the bottom, the fool.
What a maroon. You know what? I was talking to Jenny yesterday, you guys, and I was telling her that I don't understand why now all of a sudden everybody's like talking about all the people that Trump endorsed that lost. He did that when they lost the House and the Senate. It's like the kiss of death. Everybody he endorsed lost. So why is it a big deal now? Is it because it's a measure of his post-presidency power? Because everybody he endorsed before he left office lost. So why is it a big deal now?
Yeah.
Because signs were there before. I don't understand why everybody's making it a big deal now. It's not like anything.
The midterms in 2018 weren't a field day. We got the House back. What are you getting, Johnny?
Fear of being upstaged.
Ooh.
I got the Knight of Cups and the Star. This is a household name. If you were, John Doe from Wisconsin, then okay. But a person with a Clinton or a Bush name or something that has been in politics since the 80s and the 1980s or the 1880s, it's like, no, I don't want to be upstaged. Just like he didn't like John Bolton because his mustache. He didn't like Chris Christie because he was fat. So he's very shallow. So I don't think it was really all that deep.
I think you're right, because I've got Trump the fool on the bottom. I was trying to understand what my cards were trying to tell me. It's like a new action. Going for someone with a nostalgic name like Bush would be too high up for him, so he blocked him.
I got that
So changed to somebody else, and thought it would be too much of an imbalance of power, and that he would be too strong for him. And something about the donors too. I think a donor said something to him that changed his mind.
I get that it was because of sustained criticisms towards him and it hurt his narcissistic ass. So he's giving them the cold shoulder to, and not giving them any, not trying to give him any opportunity for success. It's like, dude, no, you don't even hold the keys anymore. Like, you suck. But I get that it was because he didn't like how they were criticizing him and it hurt his vanity. So
Because didn't all the other Bushes criticize Donald Trump?
All of them. All of them, I think.
Grandma, before she died, Laura, it's like, well, what do they think of this nephew that's looking for Trump's endorsement?
Yeah, let's ask that. What do the Bushes think of their nephew seeking Trump's endorsement?
Because it's kind of like, Lindsay and all these other people. Maybe once upon a time they had a shred of integrity. Once upon a time. But it's like once you taste, I could get power and money by going this route, then it just flies right out the window.
Polly Wanda, I'm not even going to read that over this video.
So I get emotional concern, emotional reaction with the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of worry that you are going down the wrong road, which of course he is or was. Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles. It causes a lot of trouble, a lot of imbalance. This is not worth it to go stare at Medusa. I guarantee you it's not. So that was the kind of conversation they were having. In the end, I think they understood why he was doing it because, the power and money thing. These are Bushes, after all. But they still held fast to that opinion that he was doing the wrong thing and that he would be caught up in something he couldn't get out of.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I get they thought, he's going in an independent way going after Trump, but they didn't like it. There was fighting about it. They tried to kind of cover it up a little because you didn't hear them talking about what they thought of their nephew, that he was like kind of turning his back on steady votes from Republicans in the government, the way it's structured with the family name and everything. So he kind of broke off with the family, and now he's like the loser walking away. He didn't get anything, didn't get anywhere. It's again a power struggle, even within the family.
That is just terrible. I get that there's been a relationship that's been lost with him. From who? I don't know. But it's a damaged, broken off relationship here. They no longer trust this person. They no longer trust him.
I got a woman.
Because where the loyal, you got a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Because where the loyalties lie, that relationship is cut off. And it's like, dude, he talked trash about your family. He was not even invited to your grandfather's funeral, and you're seeking that man's endorsement. Like, that's just, it's almost like that reading was like, I didn't get disowned, but pretty damn close. You know what I mean? Like it's damaged relationships in the family. So I have a question, if you guys don't mind. I'd be curious to see, and I'm going to sit this one out if that's okay with you guys. Can you guys take a look at Mo Brooks over the next 4 months?
Okay.
If that's all right. If not, just tell me so.
Thank you, Janine.
Thank you, Janine.
No, it's not all right.
Okay, Johnny, I'm sorry. Read on whatever you want, Johnny. Read on whatever you want.
I'm going to read on, is tic-tac-toe harder than chess?
Yes. Yes. For the Quacking Honors, yes. So is checkers and Uno.
4 months, you say?
What?
So through November.
I'm going to do this a little differently here. Now, this is the one from Alabama who was denied political protection from the DOJ, right?
Yes, sir. The one that wore the bulletproof vest to the rally. And
Make sure I got my person right here.
Is it possible he could get expelled that quickly?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you all.
Wrapped up in a bow.
all of Congress has gone on recess for the month of August. I think it's the entire month. So that's a month free time of vacation.
Yeah, but they're still they're still getting their subpoenas out there and stuff. Yeah. So I feel like there's still some work going on by the committee members and some actions that are taken in August. And then he is just, September, I think, is when somebody says something that makes him really, really anxious. The major
shit in his pants.
Major illumination on him in September. And then October, it looks like he's cut off from donors in the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
Over a connection that he's got. Treachery, and I end with Nancy Pelosi. Checkmate.
Ooh.
So which is easier? Probably tic-tac-toe, but Nancy's getting really good at chess. What are you getting, Johnny?
So, okay, this is a lot. So,
did you do a mini check?
No, I did. Well, kind of, because I did the same amount of cards, just in different order here.
Oh, okay.
So I get here at the top, High Priestess, Two of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Six of Swords. He's having a very, 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 very difficult time navigating this January 6th commission thing. He has a lot of baggage that he's carrying, and he's having a hard time navigating it because he can't get his way. And so Nancy Pelosi is a real thorn in his side because she shows up right after the Two of Swords. So she is kind of his blockade at the moment. The Four of Cups, there is something, Four of Cups, Judgment, Knight of Cups, and Seven of Pentacles. There is also something about him in gifts of money that he cannot stop from coming out. There will be some, this is going to come back up. So the horn on the Judgment card is what's drawing my eye. So there's some sort of blaring of information, and he can't stop this in particular one because it's not just his information, but his information is tied into somebody else's, and then it all comes out. So he can't stop this one. Not to mention, it is part of the investigation, and you can't stop the investigation. There is also a man who forces something from him or steals something from him. So that got the King of Swords with the Temperance, Five of Wands, Seven of Swords. So somebody takes something from him in a strategic way. So this may be subpoena of records or something like that. There's also the Hermit, Chariot, Knight of Wands, and the Nine of Pentacles. There's also an investigation into personal money. This is wired money. He got money from exactly, but it was in a large sum, but it was a large lump sum instead of like drips and drops.
I wonder if he got it on Venmo.
It was
Venmo.
large, but it was wired. There's also a secret that he can't stop from coming out. This is outside of his personal money and the wiring thing, because I get the High Priestess, Four of Cups, Knight of Swords. Is he being investigated by the FBI? Possibly. Because my King of Swords is my higher officer card, so CIA, FBI type thing. And
I'm sure he's found
investigation.
already.
So there's some information that's going to be available to them. There's also a deferred judgment because there might be a plea.
Oh,
Because I get the 2 of Swords and judgment. So this is like, okay, we will stop judgment if you will cooperate, because right after that is Temperance, and then the Chariot. The Chariot for me is slow because it's about self-discipline, which takes some time to mature such a thing. And so they're having a relationship over several months type thing. The Queen of Wands, the Knight of Cups, 5 of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. This is Nancy is pushing very hard for whatever reason against him. Maybe she finds information as well. But she is, it's almost like, starving dog or something. It's like, I got to sink my teeth into this because we got a lead on something. 6 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. He also took money from something early, like lumps of money from something early. I don't know if he's got a insider trading thing or what, but there was some money, and it's possibly tied to something to do with water cruises, ships, transportations over water or something of that. I don't know if he's got a jet ski business or what, but he's got either an insurance payment or 401k, or he took something from it early. But this was for nefarious reasons, so there's something attached to that too. I don't know why that comes up, but there it is.
dang.
Thank you, Pam. So, Becca, why did you ask that question? What came up in the Grand Tableau?
I have to go back and look at it, but it's like, because I saw impeachment, but it's like, damn, can they do it that quickly? Because that would require a bunch of documents that would take time to pour over, a bunch of subpoenas that that the Republicans are going to fight tooth and nail, which means it's going to have to be referred to the sergeant at arms for him to go arrest people and drag their asses in there. And then the whole clown show that's going to come out of that. Look at how we're being abused by the communists. You know what I mean? So that's going to turn into a whole shit show. But it's like, I don't know.
Is it possible in the Lenormand that it would show up the same for resignation, or does that come up differently?
You would think resignation would come up like Lily's or something, but man, nope. He's got it. Here's Mo Brooks. Mo Brooks sits right down here. Impeachment is right up here above his head.
What cards are those?
Letter, in-house, scythe, impeachment. And then it mirrors over here, scythe. It sits on house, bear, to remove from power. And then he's right here. It's on his mind. And he's not in a good position either because of all this. And then there's the criminal conspiracy here and obstruction of justice. And I mean, it's just, I don't know. What did you get, Jenny?
So the impeachment would be to remove him. It wouldn't be like they would start some faulty impeachment hearings to remove Pelosi or something, right?
No, and it's not just impeachment, because the impeachment shows up, there's no people around it. The hearings are right here. The letter in House Whip is talking about a document to remove, but because letter, I'm saying impeachment, but letter can also be a referral. Do you see what I'm saying? So there could be a referral of charges that get forwarded somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I was wondering what you guys were getting. But for him to resign, it would be like Lily's, but that doesn't show up around like a letter of resignation or anything. It's looking like possibly like a letter or a recommendation that gets forwarded for him to be charged and removed.
If he doesn't go in that 4 months, whatever comes out will be what causes him to go later.
What did you get? Did you put your spread up?
Yeah, I went first. So
okay.
I was getting like, is it possible they would expel him that quickly in the next 4 months? But if he doesn't go, whatever's coming out is going to be what causes him to go.
Jeez Louise.
But he's going.
Yeah, they're all going. Okay, so we were talking about this just before we went live. Will insurrectionists, the people that are going to trial, going to jail, are they going to have their voting privileges revoked? Because now they have felony records. Some of them are misdemeanors.
I was just reading on Google that in 16 states, felons lose their voting rights during incarceration and for a period of time after, typically while on parole or probation. So they don't lose them permanently, but they can lose them, like for 2022 election.
Yeah, but not all of them are being charged with felonies. A lot of them, the people that were not violent, are getting like misdemeanors and stuff like that. So
I'm getting temporary.
Temporarily?
So you have your block there, but then you have a clearing with the 6 of Swords and then the Chariot. So it progresses. So it has a block, but then it continues, but later down the line.
Yeah, I guess
based upon judgment. I get my judge and judgment card, so it's based upon judgment. So if I convict you of a felony, then we can talk about that. But if it's just a misdemeanor, then
same cards, blocked, and then it moves forward. Like maybe blocked for 3 years. For the little insurrectionists making license plates. Spirit has such a sense of humor.
I get the same thing as Johnny. It's temporary, but it's also split. Some of them can here later on down the road, but it's split. So not all of them.
Yeah, based on judgment.
Yeah, based on the judgment that are we charging you with a felony or are we charging you with a misdemeanor? So
and what state they're from.
Yeah.
I remember here during the election time, they put up posters everywhere with Lauryn Hill, the singer. They put her on the poster saying that you're still allowed to vote if you are a felon, because she's a felon. And so I guess they decided that's their poster child. She was, I think, convicted on tax evasion. So you can do it here.
If any of them tried to do write-in ballots and commit crimes while they're in prison by trying to vote, at least they're already in prison. What was that woman in Texas got locked up for 5 years for voting illegally? That was so stupid.
She's a black woman. Look at all the white Trump supporters that use dead family members to vote, and they got a slap on the wrist. So it's okay when the white folk do it. Don't let the black folk do it, though. I'm just going to shut up now because that makes me angry. Okay. Acting DOJ Rosen. He testified way before this news came out, and he was walking on eggshells, not saying anything, claiming presidential privilege, yada, yada, yada. And he covered up the notes that just came out Friday. Will he be called in to testify before the committee? Rosen.
He's very nervous.
He's nervous?
I get a very nervous energy.
Are you picking up shit in his pants or no? Just nervous.
It's almost like a flee the country type nervous.
Oh.
Now, not that that's what he's going to do, but that's the kind of energy it is.
I saw a picture of him because I kept hearing the name and I was like, who is he? And I looked him up and I was like, oh my God, he looks like Rumpelstiltskin. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that, but.
Yeah, committee wants clarity. I get the 3 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. There is the Page of Swords with the King of Pentacles. There was some little inside job he was doing, naturally. But this again, it causes a hiding energy, like I want to hide type thing. I don't know why that is. Maybe this is more serious. Maybe it is, he knows what he did last summer, and maybe he does not know if they know it all. And if they did know it all, then he would need to feel this type of energy. He would need to feel extremely nervous. So he may be mentally torturing himself too. But I get this I want to hide energy.
I get he's trying to hold things very close to his chest, like he doesn't want to let any more out because he's got Pelosi and legal issues going on here in the way that he wrapped things up during the transition with Biden. I feel like, besides him saying, that he was kind of trapped by Trump, but I feel like he knew there was going to be an insurrection. Mm-hmm. And that's where some of his anxiety is coming from, because I feel like he had the knowledge. He tried to lay low. He knew there was going to be an action taken here in America. So it's a cover-up thing.
Why do you think William Barr left? William Barr probably caught wind of what was going on. He's like, I don't want to be anywhere near this when it blows up, and just skedaddled. I get that. Yeah, he's going to be called in. He's going to have to go on a little trip. There's going to be a promise made, and he's going to have to be absolutely truthful and honest because of this right here. If you're not honest, then they get you on perjury here. Difficulty being honest, but they're far away from each other. So it's like, I get that he goes. So can we ask why he covered this up?
Just get such a, I don't usually feel people's energy like that. Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is like a medium hit too. Like maybe there's somebody in his life on the other side.
Or you're just feeling his energy.
Because it's real. I don't feel nobody's energy that strongly. 3, 4. In this political world anyway. But that's the first card. This is what I keep getting. I keep getting this nervous, I want to hide, they're coming to get me type energy, like he hears voices out the microwave type thing, like he's freaking out.
Do you think it means that he covered it up because he might have thought that Trump might have sicked his peanut butter people on him or something like that? Okay, so yes, actually. Here's the 9 of Swords and his secret. So he's worried about the cover-up. Now, why he did it, I get death and strength. Now, death is change, but it becomes death when you have this included. There may have been some threatening going on here, but I also think that he's simply just a part of it, period. That, yes, you may have still been threatened, but you were in a position to be threatened. They didn't threaten Nancy Pelosi and said, hey, do what I want you to do. They knew who to go and talk to and who not to talk to. So it's not like you're a Boy Scout and they turned you or something. And I'm stuck on the nervousness. So I think he was just part of that group though, but
thank you, Shishi. He's definitely got secrets, and that holding things close to his chest came up again. He's like, he doesn't want to talk. He knows they're going to come after him to talk again. But I think he's part of the cover up. So, victory in the cover up. The imbalance that's going on, after the insurrection and the treason and everything, he doesn't really want to have a part of it. But I think he was aware of some of the details and the inspiration behind it. He's trying to walk away from it. I don't think he does, though, because I think Pelosi, her committee, gets him. He's gonna be brought in for questioning. So he's got regrets. He's got major regrets because he knew something that he didn't tell, that he was holding too close to the chest.
I get that he knew about the dangerous travel for people to delay something. And he just thought that just keeping this would just keep the peace because of this. So it's kind of like what Johnny was saying, like maybe he knew that this was coming.
It was all over Twitter, so how would they not know?
That the people were coming to delay the transition, and they were dangerous. People were coming on vacation and they were coming to delay, and he was just doing this to cover his own ass, but you still could have told the truth before we had to wait for it to get leaked, so I'm with Johnny on this one. I think he knew all of it and he was just covering his own ass. So I have a question and I don't know how to ask. So McConnell and a lot of some GOP Republicans in the House have come out and have started endorsing vaccines. Mitch McConnell it was reported he took a bunch of money out of his own campaign to run ads in Kentucky for people to get vaccinated. I don't understand the strategy, though, because you have people in high up positions like the Senate saying, go get vaccinated. But then you have governors like Ron DeSantis that are saying, don't get vaccinated. And, oh, by the way, I'm going to ban mask mandates in schools. So there's a conflict.
And you had the whole House Republicans storm the Senate the other day protesting having to wear a mask. It was crazy.
Yeah. So and look at how ridiculous that is, Jenny. Florida has cases going through the roof, and Ron DeSantis goes and bans masks in schools. Like, are you trying to kill the whole state? So there's a conflict in the messaging there. One part is saying, go do this. And then the other part is like doing everything that they can to not get their people vaccinated and not have people mask. So is that a strategy within what's going on there? I don't understand.
Why flip-flopping on the vaccine? What's the strategy?
I don't understand what this says.
it's kind of like it's all about Biden. I'm getting on the bottom. Like they didn't want Biden to be successful in overcoming things, but then all the illumination coming out on everything that's been going on, and for security to secure their positions because they're about to have to defend them. The wall's getting a little thin. They don't have anything to defend. They're posturing with. Is what I get. So they're trying to act like what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jenny.
They're trying to look like they're working across the aisle now, during all these investigations and everything that everybody's watching, and trying to maintain some sort of strength, but they know people are walking away from them, especially since the insurrection, and they know that Trump's trying to maintain power, but he's a loser. So they've changed their agreements. They've changed what they're going to stand for. It's all based on anxiety, though. It's all coming from anxiety.
Look at what Aspie is saying. Aspie is saying, keep masking, peeps, even if you're vaxxed. All we have to do is outlast the rest. That's true. They'll kill each other off. What do you get, Johnny?
I get that you can actually see the suffering. I think behind the scenes that they are getting numbers that are too big to ignore type thing. Because I get the lovers and the Hierophant. So they are on one accord about the suffering with the Three of Swords. Some of them. The other ones are convinced that it's not spreading, that this is actually something that's the people who just wanted to shoot you up with stuff are making it up, that it's not actually spreading, that this part about health and the fevers and all that, it's not actually true. So you got one section of the population that is basically saying that you are trying to force me to do what you want me to do. And then the other one is like, we are of one accord because we got the numbers that proves that if we don't try to get ahead of this thing, then we're going to always be behind it, naturally. That's politics for you. Even with your health, there's always politics.
I'm having a hard time because I asked, what is the Republican strategy with vaccines? And it's just saying that there's an important woman that speaks or is talking here, and here's something with children. They just want to block, obstruct, delay, block. That's like all they know how to do. Act like children and no. Even though their hospitals are filled to the brim with patients, people are dropping dead. It's their strategy is to block. And then I was like, what are they blocking? And then I get anxiety, pain, and then there's the vaccine. But that doesn't make sense, Jen. That doesn't make sense to me because it's like, how?
Because they don't want Biden to look successful, I think. Thank you, Marby.
They don't want Biden to be successful, even as their own constituents are dying. Like, it doesn't make sense. And it's like, and then that started making me think, like, hold on. Is this also because all they want to do is block and delay and act like children? Are they like wanting not the economy to tank, but the economy to just kind of pitter patter along so they can point the finger in 2022? Look at what the Democrats did to the economy. Like it's all
they've got all this stuff going on with the January 6th commission. So they're going to have all this onslaught of negative stuff coming at them for just in time for the midterms.
Yeah.
And Biden's going to do some kind of executive order to help people right before midterms too. That's coming.
Yeah. But the pro-life people the pro-life non-abortion people are suddenly okay with kids catching COVID and dying. So yeah. I don't get it. So I'm going to ask
they
the
have no platform. Their only platform is to block whatever Dems want to do and, brace up the corporations and the people with money. That's their only strategy.
And if you want an insurrection, we're your party too. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to ask a petty question just because I'm bored. But Matt Gaetz has been hanging out an awful lot with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, they went to prison together yesterday. Did you see that?
They were taking a preview of what their housing situation is going to be looking like soon.
Because the insurrectionists aren't being treated fairly. It's like, how do they know they weren't allowed in?
Yeah,
because they didn't follow the rules.
Yeah, they didn't follow the rules. You can't just call and say, I want to come in with a camera crew. They knew it was a show. So can I go down that rabbit hole for just a few minutes? Because I just want to be petty. What does Matt Gaetz really think of Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because, I mean, they're both dumbasses, but I'm sure he's just like a point or two smarter than her, like, because she's real dumb. So what does Matt Gaetz really think of Marjorie Taylor Greene? Does he think this is the only friend I have left in Congress? Does nobody else will go near me because I'm a pedophile? Oh my God, Jenny! Oh my God, Jenny! That where they were trying to stage that protest, and they ran out of there, and that lady was chasing him. Gaetz, are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile? Are you a pet? Like over and over, like 30 times. It was
awesome.
It was so hilarious.
The extreme left has broken up our press conference.
And then they left Louis Gopher there at the podium, like, screw him.
The extreme left, I think that was actually just a human being, not the extreme left.
But I love the whistle guy that they tried to get to leave. He had his mask on with his whistle under his mask. Just kept blowing it. It was hysterical. I'm like, okay, every protest now, I'm taking a whistle.
Yeah. I showed it to Peanut. I was like, whistles are a powerful thing. He was cracking up.
Every time the Republicans want to do a press conference, take your whistle.
That's right, folks.
It was awesome. And it wasn't like there were that many protesters there to break it up. It just took a man and his whistle and asking Matt Gaetz, are you a pedophile 100 times?
That was, and you know what? I watched that video like a bunch of times because I was just laughing my ass off. But it looked like Brad Parscale was there, the tall guy that was escorting Marjorie Taylor Greene out of there. That looked like Brad Parscale, but I wasn't sure because she hauled ass out of there. I'm like, that's really cute, huh? A lady that likes to chase little kids down the street and harass them is running away from a mob of people with, not even a mob, it was like 20 people with whistles and cameras. Yeah.
I mean,
whistles, cameras, and signs. No guns, no bats, no none of that.
Yeah.
Let's look at it this way too, though. Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene both chase young people.
Yeah.
They both chase young people. He's just a little bit gross about it. Two cards I don't want to see in the same spread ever: the Devil and the Lovers.
Oh my God! Do you think they're boinking, you guys? If you hear that, it started here.
I don't think so, but I think there's I think he thinks that she would like to with him.
Oh, he's that much of a narcissist that he thinks that, oh yeah, she'll be all over me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He thinks he's all that.
Yeah, because his judgment of her is that there's great joy in going around and talking with her and talking about their leader and trying to transition people away through gaslighting. There's great joy in that for him. He's smug. So I think that he thinks that she's got a sense of nostalgia and wants to be romantic. And then
Oh
I
my
get
God, that's so
I
gross.
get the devil. So I'm not gonna look anymore.
That's so gross. Oh my God, that's so
Like,
gross.
maybe she'd like to tie him up or something.
Ugh,
Put him in bondage.
ugh.
I don't see them doing that. I just feel like he thinks she's got the hots for him.
What do you get, Johnny?
I get he wants to spend less time with her. I get the death and the star. Like he would like to change for the future their in particular relationship. Like here's the 7 of Pentacles and the Tower. Like he's kind of done with this, but he can't because he has a agreement with the Republican Party in order to go out and get new votes and new energy and new this and new that. But she holds too tightly to her beliefs. I think he believes she's a little too wackadoodle even for him. So he would like to depart from her presence and start something new, but he can't because they're like glue at the moment. But
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna follow that question up here in a minute. So
with the lovers on the bottom.
ooh, I'm telling you, man, she's having some fantasies there. Oh God, that's nasty. Oh, okay. I get that they're in this relationship together for business purposes while they travel, but he sees that he thinks this whole thing is so painful that he just wants to move on. Like, leave me alone, crazy lady. And even the fundraising is very difficult. It's not easy. It doesn't flow. It doesn't go. See what I'm saying? So here's a follow-up question. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene Matt Gaetz' only friend in Congress?
I have a follow-up question too.
Okay.
And then she looks at him longingly and thinks, if only I were 14, you could have something right now.
Ooh. Woo.
Because she is way too old for him.
Oh.
He's like standing outside the Sesame Street doors or something.
Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm.
Is that his only friend? No, because that's not his friend.
His pretend friend, right?
I get loneliness and depression. So I don't think he has real friends. I think he has situational friends.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 of Cups is your celebrations, your get-togethers, your good times, the people you only see at weddings and bat mitzvahs and quinceañeras and all this. Those are the people that you can't really call them your friends. You only see them when somebody got drinks and food. So he doesn't really have friends in the traditional sense. Now he has one. It's some guy on the outside of Congress, but in Congress he has no real friends. It's all situational.
You mean outside of Congress who is currently in jail? Like that kind of friend? Like
one guy, it's kind of a frattish kind of guy, and yeah, it's
oh Lord.
Sad.
Oh.
Yeah, I get because of his legal problems, like just working on fundraising all the time. He's seen as a bully. He's like out there all by himself. Like all he does is try to fundraise and stuff. Like a lot of friendships have come to an end. So he doesn't have friends.
I get that. Yes, she's the only one. She knows about the sexual affairs here, which is quite interesting for a quackanoner that's all thinks that believes that, you know, the Democrats are having child sex trafficking in pizza shops and all this other stuff. Well, you got an actual pedophile sitting right next to you, but that's cool. That's okay. You know, Also, it could also be that there's knowledge here, or they both work on a project that they're very passionate about, meaning not passionate as like they love the project, but there's a project that they work on that lets them fight, and that's what they love to do, is stir shit up. See what I'm saying? So that's what I get. What was your follow-up question, Jenny?
Who's going to see the inside of a prison first?
Marjorie Taylor Greene or Gaetz?
Or Matt Gaetz.
Okay.
Because they weren't allowed in the other day. So who's gonna see the inside of a prison cell first? Marjorie's too old for him. Not to mention she could probably beat him up.
Probably like that.
What are you getting, Johnny?
So, okay. As a visitor, as a person who's trying to go and talk for something cosmetic, it would be Marjorie. She would not be going as a prisoner. She would be going as a liaison to something. She would be going to talk or whatever, Now, Homeboy, though, is actually worried about this because he gets an action card, too. They both got an ace. She got an ace of swords. He got an ace of wands. So it's kind of like if you flip the coin, it's both. So he's worried, though, about his forceful actions of debauchery. So he would go as an inmate. She would go as a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I get it's going to be the one with the romance issue that's having to defend himself from that. And getting judgment on him from investigations with that. So the one who's involved in love affairs with underage people and then trying to cover it up. But I get that Marjorie would like stand out in the cold and try to come in and investigate like his conditions in prison.
Is she going to bring him one of those chastity belts and throw away and keep the key with her while he's locked up? So he doesn't get.
She's going to make sure he's not suffering in there in bad conditions.
I get that it's going to be him, and it may have something to do with campaign finance because where the money came for him to travel, it came from here. Campaign, party, travel, finance. So. And wasn't that one of the things that he's being investigated for is campaign finance fraud because he was using his campaign money to fund travel to have
his excursions?
Yeah. For her, I get no. But if anything, she goes because she may have tried to steal something here. And she's a crazy person. She has prolonged anxiety and worry. She's just jacked up in the head. But it's him first before her. So can we ask another petty question?
That's what we're here for.
Who's smarter, Marjorie Taylor Greene or Matt Gaetz? Who's smarter, Marjorie
Elmo.
Taylor? Elmo, but everybody loves Elmo.
He's smart. Actually, that's a bad comparison too. Because the original guy who played Elmo, he got fired for child molestation.
Oh God!
That's a bad comparison. I mean, it's an accurate comparison, but it's a bad comparison.
Yeah, it's accurate for Gaetz, but
this is bad to bring that up, I guess. Who is smarter? Okay. Then I'll do this again. Who is more intelligent? That's I'll ask it that.
Okay, I'll ask it that too, because mine was saying that it's hers, and
you know what, I got her because she is smarter, but smarter just means you're more capable of things than other people. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily your intelligent quotient, but she is more capable than he is because he's a trust fund baby.
Yeah, he didn't have anything.
But who's more intelligent?
It's him, because even though he likes to party, he's a better talker. He can form, complete sentences, and he's got more education than she has as far as intelligence level. She's stronger, though. She can beat him up.
Yeah. I get whoever spent the longest in school. Whoever spent the longest in school. That's what I don't get a person, but whoever spent the longest, and more than likely is him because he had more money and access. So I'm gonna go with him. She's smarter, he's more intelligent. So he can, figure something out. She can actually do it.
Okay, so this one's supposed to be Matt Gaetz and he gets Taylor Greene, and this is supposed to be Taylor Greene and she gets Matt Gaetz.
Interesting.
They both lose.
Yeah, so it looks like she feels that she's smarter here because she's coming from a good position where she's grounded, but she supersedes him one way, shape, or form. Probably because she knows how to rile up the crazies. For her, I get that they're not friends. And it's him. So she thinks she's smarter than him. He thinks he's smarter than her. They're both idiots who think they're geniuses. So I don't know. But he's like pretty freaking depressed right now too. So
he's so smart that he bought prostitutes on Venmo so everybody can see.
I mean, come on.
Probably out of his campaign finance funds, right? And all
yeah. Okay, so we're down to the last 8 minutes. Is it okay to ask the funny question now, or are there any other questions that we can get petty on before we get to the real stupid question at the end?
Looking through my questions. The CCTV in the Capitol, the closed circuit TV videos, are we going to see some things on that in the committee hearings that we haven't seen before?
Okay.
Anything telling as far as like whether it's the tours the day before or during the insurrection? Are we going to see anything we haven't seen before?
Okay.
Connecting some dots.
Pull 2 more.
getting a strange thing here. I'm getting first a woman who was moving small people around, so peanut butter boys,
Uh-huh.
you know, and showing them around. But I'm getting like moving someone, moving a person, that like it's a manipulation. Like there was an agreement to make sure this person got moved somewhere safe, like a known agreement about someone that they moved out of the way or moved somewhere specific.
So like you think they were giving them like the tours of where the safe spot would be?
I think this is separate from the woman giving tours. Thank you, chat. I think it's like Secret Service or somebody moving somebody like to an agreed upon space because they knew there was going to be a problem. Getting someone somewhere safe because they knew there was going to be an issue. Like they had a pre-planned, we'll take, like if it's Mike Pence, we'll take you here.
Yep.
Ooh, I just got a yes on that. I was asking, is it Mike Pence? I got a yes on that. So something about moving Mike Pence around.
Whoosh.
I just get conversations. I don't even know if there's sound with it, but there's people huddled talking. The conversations are about losses and directions. They're also about, there's a timetable here too. I don't, as far as the cameras go, I just think there's, what I'm getting is conversations and things of that nature. But I get a whole lot of stuff about what they were talking about, which then again, it doesn't really matter unless you heard it.
Unless you're a lip reader.
I'm going to say this right now for entertainment purposes only. I could be interpreting this completely and utterly 150% wrong. Here's the institution. Here's the person that was there. So Spanky McSpankerton, the Orange Menace. This way, it shows that there's something that's going to grow out of this in the House or in the previous administration, because there's the weapons that were brought during vacation. Here's FBI. I'm going to say this I could be totally wrong. If this is weapons, they put them somewhere covertly, like stashing stuff. Do you see what I'm saying? So
like putting some weapons there beforehand.
See what I'm saying? Because here's the tours that were covert, or the reconnaissance tours. These are weapons. Well, here it shows that they're covered up. They're hard to see. And then here it shows that it gets discovered. So because this is here, this could be, what do you call that? Bear spray. It could be gas, something like that, that they perhaps stashed somewhere in a safe place so that when they arrived, they knew where to go to get it.
Well, with that tree above the house, like deeply rooted in the building, like in the basement or something.
Yeah, because here's the official building here, and here it's saying it's hidden. So this is weapons here, and this is saying that it gets discovered, but it was covert. It gets discovered through investigation, but because this here is central to the reading, a dangerous cover-up. But if I'm reading it metaphorically, this would be like something that you would use to gas people out. So gas, pepper spray, anything that is airborne, along with physical weapons. But this looks more like gas, chemical weapons, bear spray, stuff like that, to deterrence. But it's looking like it was part of this tour that was undercover. If that makes sense. But here's FBI this way. And they find it. So, I mean, or they find out, but I could be totally wrong. Don't hold me up to that one, but I'm going to ask the last question, and it's our funny question. So wait, what did, PS and Huff. Hi, Patricia. She's saying it was reported that there were weapons stashed beforehand, but not sprays, guns. Where was that reported? Did you guys hear about that, Jenny, Johnny?
I haven't heard about that.
I haven't heard about that either. I thought I was just misinterpreting this. That would be wild. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to ask the last question. And we're going to be. Thank you, Roland. In honor of the Olympics, the Summer Olympics, we're going to have the GOP Olympics.
Oh, God.
Okay, Johnny, which GOP member is going to win the 2020 GOP gold medal in the 200-meter dash, the 200 ass and elbows back pedal dash? Who's going to win that? Who's going to win the back pedal ass and elbows dash?
Describe this person to me.
The GOP Olympics, ass and elbows, back pedal dash. Who wins?
I keep seeing Lindsay. Lindsay. He's already backpedaling.
No, I mean from the people that are involved with the GOP, the insurrection.
With the insurrection?
The insurrection. Who's going to win the ass and elbows back pedal dash?
Well, there's the insurrection.
What are you getting, Johnny?
Can't be nobody faster than the fool, I suppose.
You think Donald Trump is going to get the gold medal on ass and elbows back pedal?
Here's the thing. All of this here talks about movement and communication. What I have here, you do not have to be the fastest in the world. You have to be faster than your friends. So if the bear is chasing you, push him down. This is Donald Trump's MO. If somebody is coming after him, he is going to push you down. That way, whatever's after him is stalled, at least for a moment.
Eat your ass.
King of Swords too. Yeah, I think now I was gonna say the mopey one, which I think is him because he's very narcissistic, and I'm going with Donald Trump.
You're going with Donald Trump?
I'm going with Donald Trump.
I think you're right. I think like all the insurrection and as that's coming to an end and somebody's out campaigning for money to try to get to higher ground for the next election. I think it's businessman Trump, the grifter, who's trying to distance himself from the insurrection to American donors. But I think it's also Full Junior and I Eat Paste. Moving on.
Oh, Lord. I get that the loyalist is shitting its pants. They're shitting their pants. This is someone in leadership. It's someone in leadership that's supposed to be wiser and know better. But I get that person is going to be the one that's going to win the 2020 gold medal in the 200-meter ass and elbows back pedal dash. Okay, so that's what I get. So that's all we got for tonight, you guys. Thank you so much, Johnny and Jenny, for reading with me tonight. Thank you, everybody who super chatted. Next week we will be on Johnny's channel. Johnny's going to be live again on Monday. Tuesday.
Go to Red Lentil Healing. It's all over there. I don't keep up with that.
Tuesday
Oh,
he's with Tony and Red Lentil, and Saturday. Monday, I'm with Lori from the Way of Positive Change.
Okay.
So 5 Eastern times, 4 Central.
You guys caught that? Catch Jenny Monday, Johnny on Tuesday. And thank you, everybody, for the super chats and hanging out and everything. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.